Welcome back, Trauma Agora fans. Me and Emily are extremely quick changers. You will see us in the upcoming bonus episode from the ADHD bit. I think it was honestly one of our strongest mini episodes we've done. We were so in the flow. We asked really good questions, really funny anecdotes, and I'm really excited for you guys to watch this.
It was ridiculous. I think I just blacked out. Like we were just chatting, and the ideas were crazy and it was all flowing. Such a brilliant conversation, and yeah, I'm really keen for everybody to go and have a listen.
We fly straight into it, by the way, so just get your headset on, get your seatbelt on, wash your dishes, drive your car, whatever stuff you do listen to the podcast, and get ready for the ride. There's an Alan Partridge meme where like this is how ADHD people explain stories. You start at the end, and then you go to the middle, and then you start with a bit of context at the beginning, then you go to the third act just to sort of contextualize the end bit, and then you come through and then bridge between act 1 and act 2. I genuinely think that's how you create the context, because you want to start at the end, because that's like, this is a big exciting bit. Then you're like, oh, maybe I should start contextualizing.
Yeah, the
this.
dopamine like takes over. You're like, I've got to say the end.
Yeah, a bit boring in the beginning. Let's go up towards the end again. Be like, oh, I probably should bridge the gap now. Oh, there's your story. Can't start to end. It has to go from end to start to middle to start to back to the end to the middle again.
My God.
And then you get the story eventually. So the point you were saying about like people believe you're saying the same point 6 times, but no, you're just saying the 3 different acts in the complete wrong order.
Well, and no, what I mean as well is, so say for example, I was explaining what happened in my day. Like I took the bus and then I went to the pharmacy and then I went and bought myself a t-shirt in the clothes shop, right? I'd say that. And then I would go, so yeah, I got the bus, right? And then obviously I went to the pharmacy and then the clothes shop and whatever, but no, let me say that again. And then I'd say it, like I'd literally shuffle around.
You want to be perfect.
The sentence. And it would take me about half an hour just to say of such a basic thing, but I've not organized my brain in advance. So I'm speaking before I've thought. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Once at shop.
I had a bad habit of that. I got myself in so much trouble when I was younger because I just go and I go, fuck, I shouldn't have said that, because like, you know, like speaking before you think, because you just I'd feel the excitement to say it, and then my prefrontal cortex is like too late, but it's not strong enough.
I'm exactly the same. It's that no filter like approach to everything, and it's gotten me in trouble so much as well in professional circumstances too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Probably so careful. But anyways, so I wanted to ask you, we've just had this really chaotic chat about ADHD and just culture and sort of stumbling our way through life. When it comes to kind of overarching themes, I want to just touch on one that I've got here, which says in my little notes, my little cheeky notes. So what does attention mean in a world that is constantly demanding it? Now, we touched on this in the episode itself, where I was talking about instant gratification just being available to you. And I wanted to know, when it came to like work and dating and like all like other elements, if we take it kind of away from like an online experience, as that example is already in the episode, talk to me about how you kind of organize your own attention for these different things, how your attention like and your focus manifests in like other areas in your life.
Yeah, I think it's good to create a grounded perspective of like how it impacts everyday life, because in the episode we talked about our experiences, and then we talked about the overall cultural thing, which sounds like putting it on the ground. How I work is I have to manipulate my focus I can do like 4 hours straight, and then I need 4 hours off, which is not compatible with how our current work exists. So me and Emily work a remote job, which is great for this, and they're also very open about it. Like, as long as you get the work done, we're happy. But then the stuff that we do in those 4 hours when we're hyper focused is going to be more than people doing the 8 hours work day. So you're still getting the same output. And then in terms of dating, this is one of the reasons why I'm scared to date, is because hyperfixation doesn't only apply to things, it applies to people.
Yeah.
And then also that is overemphasized again with having an anxious attachment. So if I really like someone, then that same hyperfixation to solve that I'll have with anything that spikes my dopamine will then go into that person. So it's very easy to then create idealization and creating like things to solve, creating this image of them, and then the actual person, you don't know them that well, but then you start building a relationship super quickly because that's the high dopamine that you need. If it's a slow burn, you're like, God, this is boring, or like they don't like me, I'm
Mm.
panicking. But it could just be something that's slowly burning. Again, with relationships, you can't hyper focus on them and then be like, I need a break. There's something that needs more gentle nurturing.
And everyone sat there and imagined like, oh yeah, and then when we get married, and then we're gonna have, we're gonna have like 3 kids, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna move to the country or whatever. Like everyone sat there and manifested, but it's dialed up, it's turbocharged when you have ADHD, isn't it? Like it's almost impossible
Yeah.
to not go into like an acute amount of detail about how your life is gonna be, and you've only been on one date. So
Because that's the only thing that keeps you stimulated. Like there's such a
yeah,
high barrier for dopamine with people with ADHD.
it's new, it's shiny, it's exciting.
But it could also mean as soon as it doesn't get exciting, then you're like, oh, I'm just not feeling it with you anymore, which isn't
Yeah.
fair. And it might not even be true how much you living. I mean, saying that, I've tried to, I don't want to say weaponize, it's a bit of an aggressive word, but I'm using
Here we go, guys.
my
Toxic Jake's being rolled out in real time.
jock is coming back out.
Jock is back.
But I'm using it to be more productive. I'm using it to be like, this is how I will create reels for 6 hours straight, schedule them for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and then by the time it gets closer to that end bit, then I'm ready to hyper focus again. Whereas if I tried to do it gradually, build up, it'd be bloody impossible. But then at the same time, I do need to maybe not rebel against it, but when it comes to dating, I can't have that same attitude. So when
Yeah.
it brings it down to the ground, it can be a huge asset to me, but it can also be a big detriment to me. It's an extremes. That's probably all. If you want to boil down ADHD to a term, it would be extreme
Yes.
high, extreme low.
It
We
is,
haven't even
yeah.
talked on emotional regulation. Like how has your experience been with emotional regulation, like rejection sensitivity
What do
dysphoria as
you mean
well?
regulation? I've never emotionally regulated in my life, ladies and gentlemen. There is not a bit of regulation in sight. I mean, go and watch the episode if you want an example of what I tried to do to emotionally regulate myself when I was a child. There's there's so much with ADHD, you feel everything. You feel everything to your
Just
core.
beautiful. You feel amazing things. You love so purely and so
You
intensely.
do. Yeah, that is true actually. And I don't want to just paint this constant negative picture. When it comes to ADHD, I've been so I see it as like this other person that lives inside my head, and I've been resentful to that person for so long because they just keep fucking getting in the way of me doing stuff. So
Hmm.
I think, yeah, I don't want to just constantly be on the negative. But you're right, you do love so purely. You have really cute, wholesome fixations. Like I'm obsessed with sunsets. That's one like really wholesome fun fact about me. I will literally drag Josh out the house and dump him in the car, and I will drive like like he's my child. I will dump him in the car, and I will go, we are driving to where there's like a really beautiful windmill on top of a hill, and you always get the best sunsets, especially when it's that kind of like turn of the season, and just like stuff like that. I get that sensory experience, the visuals. I physically can feel myself adoring this thing and being like, wow, I'm like a child when I see fireworks for the first time or something. Like fireworks is another thing. It is actually, I'm going to a fireworks display tonight, by the way, and I'm very excited. So
Spoiler alert.
I have had to clear the diary for that one. That's a big, big day for me. So, yeah, you do. You love so purely. You feel everything. You feel it like a physical kind of change when things are going well with, say, a person and you're dating, or you see something or you hear something that just makes your body tingle, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And that has so many benefits. But it also means that because you can't feel things, you can't just pick something up and put it down. It's quite exhausting. It's quite tiring, and it's all consuming. I would say emotional regulation for me, obviously everyone's different. It kind of depends what it is. I said about my noise cancelling headphones and stuff. I use those to really help me just lock out the outside world. It's hard. It depends on what it is. I have that combination ADHD. So for me, say for example, I'm going on like a night out or something, and it's like blaring noise, loads of like big lights flashing, and like, you're in a group, in a crowded room full of people and it's just like you can feel the bass of the like speakers like move through into your chest and things like that. I can't do that very often. I love it. I love it. I love going out. I'm a big music person. And again, if I feel music that I love, I feel it in every way. But I can't have that sensory overload often. So
Mhm.
yeah, it kind of it manifests in different ways depending on the thing that is the overstimulation. But
Does it only apply to like how external circumstances are? How is it just in relation to your everyday thoughts? Because I think my emotional regulation would come to dealing with thoughts or dealing with people
I
or
see.
like,
So yeah, that's where you lose me. That's where it's chaos. I don't
yeah,
really have a very good kind of infrastructure for handling overthinking. For example, my partner said something in a certain tone of voice. I'd be like, but what does he mean by that? I'd like go and
texts.
spiral off.
Texts are
Yeah.
the worst. Everyone spirals off them, but text can be like, I can create a 5-book novel based on the tone that you sent that. Haha.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 10/10 agree with you on that. Well, my dad, one of the like best pieces of advice he ever gave me as like a sort of teenager, exploring, going on the odd date for the first time or whatever, and boys, oh my god, boys,
Ugh.
all of that stuff. The best thing he ever said was just pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone and don't text. Obviously, voice notes weren't a thing back in the olden days when we were teenagers. So you couldn't just send a voice note to articulate yourself a little bit better with that tone of voice. You can deliver yourself a lot better if you just speak to them or go and see them in person, for crying out loud. Like, it was a really useful piece of advice because it really helped me. If I was stumbling over my words in the phone call, it at least gave the impression that I wasn't really 100% sure what I was thinking. I was just in love and I was just so, like all over the place. But yeah, I don't know. That means now that I just call everyone constantly. I'm just an annoyance. So
Well, in that same breath, remember in episode 1, you were talking about how you just called up your now partner's friend. Was that advice maybe manifesting? Obviously,
yeah,
it's a
that
funny
is.
story now. And what if it backfired? We was like, sorry, he doesn't.
Oh my god, yeah. So really
But
what
you
we're
found
saying
out.
is, yeah, yeah, absolutely. My poor dad would have been responsible then for me not being able to date. It's little bits like that that you maybe they manifest in a positive and negative sense, but we can only do what we can do, and not everyone's going to understand you fully. Not everyone's going to be able to give you space to regulate. It's trying to be as honest with yourself as possible and give yourself as much time as possible. Be honest with yourself. Like, what do you actually need? Like, you've had a really busy day. Like, can you really go out to the shops to do the big food shop? No, like, just push it to another day. Like, being around people and having those horrible overhead lights and the oh my god, the clinical lighting in Tesco's sends me for a loop, and the music, like crackly music blaring out, and
Mm,
nah, it's not for me when I've had a big day. That's being pushed to tomorrow, no chance. So just be honest with
yeah.
yourself if you are neurodivergent. Obviously, if you're neurotypical, I'm envious of you. I take my hat off to you. But you still also, will have overstimulating moments you need to regulate yourself from. So
I think the
yeah.
same principle applies where I think it all comes down to like how comfortable are you being honest with yourself? And
Mm,
it's terrifying to be
mm,
honest with yourself and say, maybe I'm not enjoying this interaction because I'm getting emotionally triggered. Not
completely.
how do I solve this? Why am I
Mm,
like this? The honesty element kind of changes it from being you are a problem to you
mm.
are your own best friend. Let's work with this together, which I think would be a nice summary point.
Definitely. And there's a lot of guilt that comes with having ADHD for no good reason. We're all trying to fit ourselves, going back to the original question, we're all trying to fit ourselves into a box, into a world that is constantly demanding different things to what we can offer as people. And there's grief, there's guilt, but there's also realization, and there's also love. And the more honest you can be about yourself, the less grief, the guilt you will feel. It will be more positive than negative. So there you go. Good vibes. Good vibes all round.
Yeah. Hope you the exclusive content on
Whoop whoop. We're doing exclusives now, baby. We're big
exactly
time.
Big time. Or too much time on our hands is the correct.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, exactly. Right then, we'll see you on the next one, I guess. But this isn't
We'll
really
see you in
technically an
something.
episode. We'll see you soon. Goodbye. All right, that's it for today's chaos.
Thanks for joining us in the Trauma Agora.
If you can relate, make sure you hit follow, send it to your mate who really needs to hear it, and come and find us on socials for some extra nonsense.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Same vibes, new existential crisis. See you then.